Hello and welcome to the KPMG Children's Books Ireland Awards ceremony in the beautiful surroundings of the Museum of Literature Ireland. This is a socially distanced awards ceremony that brings us out of our homes to some extent. 2021 marks 31 years of the awards and the second year of Children's Books Ireland's partnership with KPMG. For those who don't know, the KPMG Children's Books Ireland Awards are the only awards in Ireland that celebrate books created by Irish children's and young people's authors and illustrators and those living in Ireland. The criteria each year is excellence ahead of any trends or economic considerations. The judges are completely independent and they read every book which is eligible, 99 in total this year, with no advanced screening process. Those judges deserve huge kudos and a massive thanks for the time and dedication given over to the judging process. They are Dr. Finian O'Shea, Mary Roach, Dr. Sinead Moriarty, Siobhan McNamara, Siobhan Callahan, Joe Kelly, Sue Miller, Groinine Wilnor, Young Judge Sarah Fitzgerald, International Judge James Mayhew, and Judges Chair Dr. Padraig White. 6 awards in total will be presented today to titles from the awards shortlist: the Honour Award for Fiction, the Honour Award for Illustration, the Eilish Dillon Award for a Debut Children's Book, the Judges Special Award, and the Junior Jury Award. Each of these awards carries a prize of €2,000 and the KPMG Children's Books Ireland Book of the Year, which includes a prize fund of €6,000 and this magnificent trophy. Children's Books Ireland would like to thank its incredibly understanding and flexible funders, the Arts Council, Ecclesiastical Movement for Good Award, the Arts Council of Northern Ireland, and headline sponsor KPMG, who have allowed Children's Books Ireland to innovate in these challenging times and bring a programme of events, activities, readings and resources online so that children and young people all over the island of Ireland can continue to get involved. 6,811 registered junior jurors have read the shortlisted books and enjoyed the resources made available across the Children's Books Ireland website, social media and YouTube channel. Additionally, 44 schools across the island of Ireland received 1,290 books as a gift for their libraries. Children's Books Ireland especially want to thank title funder KPMG. Their entire team's dedication to developing potential and celebrating the joy of reading has allowed the awards go from strength to strength over the past 2 years. KPMG's staff have been engaging with young readers around the country by recording short videos, sharing activities and art related to the 8 shortlisted titles, and a weekly competition has been encouraging children to get creative with writing and drawing, with a much coveted €100 book token up for grabs each week. Additionally, the KPMG Reading Hero Award, now in its second year, recognises a young person's potential and gives them the encouragement to pursue their chosen path. Now, with more about the Reading Hero Award and to announce the winner, I'd like to welcome and introduce you to Seamus Hand, Managing Partner, KPMG Ireland.
Thank you, Rick. And hi, everyone. I hope that you're all keeping well in what has clearly been a challenging year for so many people. At KPMG, we're really pleased again this year to support the Reading Hero Award. And with children out of school because of the pandemic, education was disrupted this year, and that, in my mind, really reinforced the view that learning and literacy it's really important that it's supported at every opportunity. And that's just one of the reasons why this year in particular, these awards are even more important. Our team in KPMG got really involved this year, which was great. Many of them recorded videos of themselves completing a creative activity linked to one of the children's or young adult books that was shortlisted for these awards. And these videos were featured on social media, either on our own channel or on Children's Books Ireland's channel. And they provided some, I think, really great encouragement to the junior juries that went on to decide the winner of the Junior Juries Award. So we'd like to say a huge thank you to all of our team that got involved in that. I passionately believe that reading is the foundation of education, and its importance from a really young age cannot be overstated. And that's why at KPMG we're committed to supporting education, and that's also why we're delighted to be the sponsor once again of these awards. This year, the KPMG Reading Hero Award had a huge amount of entries, highlighting extraordinary young people whose interest in books and reading is remarkable. We're delighted about the part that this award has played in encouraging involvement from young readers from right across our island. And with so many amazing examples of young people with a real love of reading, The judges obviously had a really difficult task on their hands of picking a winner from the entries. But they did that, and now I'm delighted to announce that they finally agreed on this year's KPMG Reading Hero, Dean Porter. Dean is aged 11. He's a 5th class pupil from my own county, Donegal. He was nominated by his principal and class teacher, Roisin Walsh, who had the following to say about Dean.
When I heard about the KPMG Reading Hero Awards, one of my pupils in 5th class, Dean Porter, automatically jumped to mind. Although Dean has only been in my classroom since September, his love of reading and books is obvious. He loves Harry Potter, but doesn't just confine himself to J.K. Rowling. Dean will happily read a variety of fiction and will seek out books that we may just refer to in class. What has really impressed me about Dean is that his love of reading has continued, despite personal obstacles in his life recently. Dean had to undergo major surgery for scoliosis in Dublin and missed months of school because of it. As we live in Inishowen in North Donegal, this involved several round trips to Dublin of over 600 kilometres. Initially, Dean was transported by the bumbulance, but thankfully now he can sit in his parents' car to make the long journey to and from appointments. Dean never complained about his condition. He kept in regular touch with his class teacher throughout his time off. In fact, when he returned full-time to school, she was very impressed with the progress he had made. It took Dean a while to regain his self-confidence, but I really believe his passion for reading has helped him enormously. He thrives on diving into a book and loves having a good debate with his friends about the merits or otherwise of various books. Stephen King once said, "Books are a uniquely portable magic." Dean certainly loves that portable magic, and I can think of no one more deserving of the KPMG Reading Hero Award. Well done, Dean. You deserve it.
Hello, my name is Dean Porter. I attend Sculneave Padraig National School in Dumfries in Inishowen in County Donegal, and I am in 5th class. I've been reading lots at home as well as in school for a long time. My favourite book is Harry Potter. I love action and fiction books. I love to read books because I can go into a world of my own and forget all my worries. I was overwhelmed when my teacher, Miss Walsh, told me I had won the KPMG Reading Hero Award. I think my friend Sean cried more than me when I won. So I would like to thank Miss Walsh for nominating me and my friends and family for inspiring me. I am very grateful for this award. I'm really looking forward to watching this award ceremony with my class. Bye!
Well done, Dean. Your prize is a €200 book voucher for yourself and a €1,000 book token for your school, and that's Sculneave Padraig from Dumfries on the Inishowen Peninsula in North Donegal. So well done again. There are also 5 runner-up reading heroes selected by the jury who will each receive a €100 or £90 book token, and they are Alex Parfait, who's 16 from Loch Road Learning Centre in Lurgan in County Armagh, Tia Kenny, who's 7 from Gaelscoil Columcille in Coolock in Dublin, David Ryder, who's 10 from Knockruski National School in Westport, County Mayo, Amy Berry, who's 15 from Kylemore College in Ballyfermot in Dublin, and lastly, Noah Mullins, aged 11 from Gaelscoil in Invermore, Arklow, County Wicklow. So well done, Alex, Tia, David, Amy and Noah. My thanks on behalf of everybody in KPMG to everybody involved in organising these awards, including a special thanks to Elena and the team at Children's Books Ireland, to our MC today, Rick O'Shea, and to my own colleagues at KPMG who have supported this initiative right throughout the year in so many ways. Our thanks as well to those involved in the judging panel and to everybody who submitted entries. But most of all, I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of you, everybody watching at home, kids and adults alike, for playing your part and for giving your great support to these awards. So now, until next year, thank you. Continue to stay safe and happy reading.
Well done to all the young readers around the country. Before we get to the business of announcing category and overall winners, we're going to enjoy a live performance. Lucy Kerwin is a member of the Centre for Talented Youth Ireland Early University Entrance Junior Jury. A biology student, Lucy loves to read and write poetry. Take it away, Lucy.
Hello, my name's Lucy Kerwin and this is my poem, Autumn Gone. Autumn gone. The crispy leaves fall to the ground, caught from the breeze, swishing in the cold wind's breath, await the ground to seize. Trunks of ancient wrinkles carry puffs of golden hair. From summer's warmth to autumn's chill, their locks are trimmed bare. A sea of auburn oval ships sail on the dusty ground, matted down by hooves and boots to release a crunch-like sound. As the humid air turns to rain, the skies will darken too, for July's escaped out the door and October is the new.
Before announcing the award winners, we're going to celebrate the books shortlisted for the KPMG Children's Books Ireland Awards 2021. These are the 8 books published in 2020 that the judges deemed the most excellent. Inclusion on this shortlist is amongst the highest of honours, so a huge congratulations to the following shortlistees. Hope Against Hope, written by Sheena Wilkinson, published by Little Island Books. Meep, Le Morizef, Masaheg Paddy Donnelly, Futafata. Savage Her Reply, written by Deirdre Sullivan and illustrated by Karen Vaughan, published by Little Island Books. The Boldness of Betty, written by Anna Carey, published by the O'Brien Press. The Falling in Love Montage, written by Kira Smith, published by Anderson Press. The Haunted Lake, written and illustrated by PJ Lynch, published by Walker Books. The Monsters of Rookhaven, written by Pádraig Kenny, illustrated by Edward Bettison, published by Macmillan Children's Books. Why the Moon Travels, written by Owen de Vardoon, illustrated by Leanne McDonough, published by Skeen Press. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for, I am delighted to reveal the winners in each category. First up is the winner of the Honour Award for Fiction. This year, the award goes to Pádraig Kenny for The Monsters of Rookhaven. Let's hear from the young judge on this year's awards panel, Sarah Fitzgerald. She's going to share what the judges had to say about The Monsters of Rookhaven.
Mirabelle is a monster who lives with her family, also monsters, in Rookhaven, a mansion protected from the outside world. That is, until 2 humans, Jem and Tom, stumble into her life. Kenny's gripping narrative, with wonderfully eerie illustrations by Bettison, draws upon established Gothic and horror motifs in providing readers with an utterly original adventure. Full of darkness and light, as well as brilliantly realised characters, this is a page-turner that explores ideas of acceptance, tolerance and true friendship. Now, let's see what the junior juries thought.
I really enjoyed reading The Monsters of Rookhaven. It was my favourite book out of all the books I read for this. I loved the way the author created the world of Rookhaven. Like, for example, he had these flowers, but they had teeth, and they had a tongue, and they had to eat. That was really interesting. And he described it very well. And he made it quite scary and it seemed real. I really liked the way it was scary, but my friend had to leave the book outside her room at night. I loved the mystery in the book, the malice. Who is he? Or what is he? And Piglet. I loved Piglet. This is a page about Piglet. He has a different page to everyone else. It's a black page with white writing. And he was a big mystery. He was everything. But at the same time, he was nothing. He really brought the whole story together. Thank you.
I liked this book best out of the books I read. Hope Against Hope, Why the Moon Travels, The Haunted Lake and The Boldness of Betty. I liked how it was written in different perspectives. For example, Freddie, Piglet, Mirabelle and Jem. I loved how you got everyone's version of the story. I especially liked Piglet's chapters, the way they were written so simply and yet so well. It was interesting how they were all written in the third person. I especially liked the wall of pictures at the front. What really interested me was Piglet, because the rest of them looked human. Piglet was different though.
I thought this book had a slow start, but after the illustration on page 22, as seen here, the image through the glimmer, made me really want to read on. I also liked the whole of portraits at the start of the first chapter. Even though I didn't refer back to it, it was fun to glance back at when I was finished. Piglet, I feel, represented empathy because, as it said in the last chapter, Piglet understood the townspeople and the townspeople understood Piglet. But the last chapter, I feel, was the most meaningful as it ended beautifully.
What intrigued me most about The Monsters of Rookhaven by Pádraig Kenny was the blurb. Sometimes the monsters take us. Sometimes we become the monsters. First, I wasn't quite sure what this meant, but as I read on, I realised the theme of the book. Who are the real monsters? Monsters are often portrayed as big, scary creatures, perhaps with horns or sharp teeth. So the obvious monsters in this book would be the residents of Rookhaven. However, I believe that monsters can also be evil, cruel people. This illustration shows the villagers of Rookhaven attacking the residents. What led to this? The arrival of malice. But I had to ask myself, is malice just the character, or is it the feeling? Having read this book, I believe that Padraig Kenny asks me as a reader to think about how we act when we act with hate or grief. I don't want to spoil the ending, so I recommend that you read The Monsters of Rookhaven by Padraig Kenny and decide for yourself, who are the real monsters?
We recommend The Monsters of Rookhaven by Padraig Kenny. Thank you.
Our second category award is the Honour Award for Illustration. This year the award goes to PJ Lynch for The Haunted Lake. Let's hear what the judges had to say about The Haunted Lake.
Jacob and his father, Reuben, are the only people brave enough to fish on the mysterious lake created when a dam was built and a town flooded. On land, Jacob falls for a young girl named Ella, but something keeps drawing him to the lake late into the evening. This tale of love, loss and perseverance, told by Lynch through words and masterful illustrations, bringing the reader on a ghostly journey from the world of the living to the eerie depths of the town that lies beneath. Now, let's see what the junior juries thought.
Hi, my name is Layla.
And I'm Gaben.
These are the reasons why The Haunted Lake is our favourite book.
Layla, what is your favourite page?
This is my favourite page because of the effort and detail put into it. This page also starts the beginning of the exciting story. What's your favourite illustration, Caden?
This is my favourite illustration because how much detail and how much it describes the setting of the book. And this book also reminds me of Blessington Lakes. Why do you like it so much, Layla?
I also like the book because it reminds me of Blessington Lake and how much I can relate it to the real world. We really recommend you read this book.
Hi, I'm Saoirse.
Hi, I'm Cassie.
And we are from Mr. Kelly 6th class. Today we're doing a review on
The Haunted Lake by PJ Lynch.
Cassie, why do you like this book so much?
I like this book so much because if I went to a library, I'd really like to pick this book out of all the other books I've seen because this book looks really interesting and the detail looks amazing in it. Thank you. What do you like about the book?
I like the book because of the front cover. It looks like there's some ghosts, and I like some books that are about ghosts. Oh, what is your favourite illustrated page?
My favourite illustrated page is this page because you can clearly see that the girl her name is Lilith, and Jacob seems kind of afraid, and you can really see the emotion in her face, and it looks really interesting to keep on going. Thank you. What's your favourite illustrated page?
My favourite illustrated page is when Jacob goes down into the bottom of the lake because everybody is crowded around him and you can see the detail and effort put into it.
Thank you. We really recommend this book.
Our next award is the Eilish Dillon Award for a debut children's book. I'm delighted to introduce Dr. Cormac O'Quillinon, crime novelist and former head of the Italian department at Trinity College Dublin's School of Languages, Linguistics and Cultural Studies. Dr. O'Quillinon is also a son of Eilish Dillon's, for whom this award is named, and is a former awards judge.
One of the lovely things about the Eilish Dillon Award is the rich variety of the projects that have won it over the years. There's always new talent coming on stream, new worlds to discover, and this year Owen de Bordoon leads us into a world that is both new and old. It's traditional, but it's also given new life. He gives us 20 tales from the Irish traveller community, creating a world that is full. It has a landscape, animals and people, but these are not fixed. They're all changeable, and their identities are explained by stories. We're all made of stories, says the author. If you're given a story, you've got to pass it on. And by the way, it doesn't have to be the same. Stories also depend on who is telling them. A very liberating model of reading and writing stories. A man turns into a tree. Stars come from the eyes of a fish. If you see a magpie, it's really a swindler who's been struck by lightning. There's wisdom in these pages, and a great deal of fun, although the sad and grief-stricken side of life is by no means edited out. The narrator's family life is also visible behind the stories, who's telling them in what circumstances. So we're brought into, in effect, two different worlds within this book. It's a lovely production, and the pictures by Leanne McDonough seem to have floated into the book and perched themselves around the pages wherever they like. A most singular and interesting and worthy winner.
Congratulations to Owen de Vardoon, winner of the Eilish Dillon Award for a debut children's book. Here's what the judges had to say about Why the Moon Travels.
The 20 stories in this extraordinary collection come from the Irish traveller community, the Mincéirí de Pavi. Collected by de Vardoon and retold with passion and lyricism, these are tales of giants, foxes and owls, of friendship, love and hunger, of famine, heartache and loss. In these stories, this world and the other world are intertwined. The personal is often used to explore the universal, and storytelling becomes a means of making sense of our surroundings. This is a beautifully written and groundbreaking book, celebrating and sharing a rich tradition that may be unfamiliar to many readers. Now, let's see what the junior juries thought.
Hello, my name is Simone O'Donoghue, and my favourite book from this year's shortlist is Why the Moon Travels, written by Owen de Vardoon and illustrated by Leanne McDonough. This book contains amazing stories from the Irish traveller community. These books are beautifully written and are probably unknown to the vast majority of people outside of the community. Unlike Cinderella, Snow White, and many other more common fairy tales, these stories hold valuable lessons that tell us how we should treat the environment and those around us. The small, stunning illustrations in the book really help the reader to create an image of what is taking place in each story. De Vardoon has anecdotes written throughout the book, telling us about his memories of the first time he heard these stories, and who he heard them from. These anecdotes also give us an insight into what life in the traveller community is like. My favourite thing about this book is that all of the stories can still be applied to life in today's world. The story that I most enjoyed reading was Armin's Voice. This story tells a tale of the atrocious things that greed and jealousy can make us do, even to those that we love the most. I firmly believe that this book should win the Children's Choice Award, as it is perfectly written, gorgeously illustrated, and has no faults whatsoever.
The next category award is the Judges' Special Award. This year, the award goes to Owen de Vardoon and Leanne McDonough for Why the Moon Travels. Congratulations again to Owen. That's 2 awards for the debut children's writer. Let's hear from another junior jury talking about Why the Moon Travels.
Hi, my name is Caitlin O'Reilly and I am 12 years old and I'm from Cashel, County Tipperary, and I am a traveller, and I'm going to be telling you a bit about this book. And before we get started, I'm going to introduce my dog. This is Princess. She is a Chihuahua, and so let's get started on the book. I love the heading, Why the Moon Travels, and I love the picture of the crow in front. It brings out the heading, and it was wrote by Owen de Vardoon, and it was illustrated by Leanne McDonough. So I'm going to be showing you my favourite picture and my favourite story and my favourite part about the book. So first of all, my favourite picture is this. I love all her pictures, but that just tells me about travelers' life. And there is a language in the book that is oral language. Like I'm not like too good at it, but like I know a bit about it. It's called Cant. It's so interesting to learn as well. And I love the way that Odin wrote. That's a nice picture too. But I love the way that Odin, underneath the story, he wrote in the traveller language too. See, this story is called Where the Stars Come From, and then he wrote in the language. I think it's Ein Bini Lewis Cruish Oswa. I'm not that good, but my favourite story in it is there's a story about why the moon travels as well, but my favourite story is the three sisters and the crow. That's the picture I showed you, this picture. They're the three sisters and the crow. I love that picture too. But I'm going to read out my favourite line about the book because I think it's very funny. But I'll just say it. Okay. So, where are we? It worked so hard that I forgot to make a nest for itself. So it would sleep at night in the hair of the second sister, the bundle of her locks on a soft bed. That I like that part. That's just that's funny.
Now it's time for our Junior Jury Award. As we know, thousands of readers across the island have been shadowing the awards judging panel, reading and debating the shortlisted books and voting for their favourite, the title that they consider worthy of the Junior Jury Award. I'm delighted to hand over to one of our junior juries who are going to announce the winner.
And the winner of the Junior Jury Choice Award is Kira Smith, author of the Falling in Love montage. Well done, Kira.
Everything is about to change for Saoirse. Her mother is ill, her father intends to remarry, and she has one summer left before she heads off to university. When she meets Ruby and they embark on what Saoirse hopes will be a short-term and light-hearted romance, things don't go according to plan. Unafraid to engage with darker themes, Smith writes a brilliantly witty, clever and funny coming-of-age narrative centred on a young protagonist with a clear and distinctive voice. Now, let's see what the junior jury's thought.
I really enjoyed reading this book. It is set in Ireland, so I was familiar with many of the cultural references. The characters are amazing, and my favourite one is Ruby. This book is a love story, but it also focuses on the main character Saoirse coping with her mother's early onset dementia. It was great to see representation of the LGBT community in this book. It was a great read. I found myself invested in the characters and laughing along with them.
Now it's time for the big awards, the KPMG Children's Books Ireland Book of the Year. From an initial list of 99 eligible books, the judges read, met, deliberated and argued for this title as the winner, the most excellent Irish book published for children and young people in 2020. This year's winner is Deirdre Sullivan and Karen Vaughan for Savage Her Reply. Here's what the judges had to say about Savage Her Reply.
Many of us are familiar with the story of Lir's children, transformed into swans and forced to travel from lake to lake for hundreds of years. But what of their stepmother's version of events? This fantastic reversioning of the myth from Aoife's perspective offers an insight into her mistreatment at the hands of Lir and her reasons for seeking revenge. Written in wonderfully lyrical prose, this is a tense and haunting tale that explores heartache, loss and forgiveness, while giving a voice to a woman who was silenced for generations. Now, let's see what the junior jury's thought.
Hi, my name is Sinead Scott and I'm a member of the Early University Entrance Junior Jury. I love history, myths and legends, and as a child I loved the story of the Children of Lir. I thought it was extremely interesting to read that same story from the stepmother's perspective. My favourite part of this book was the callograms between each chapter. The shape of the callograms represented the letters from the alphabet, which is very fitting for this book. As well as learning about the Children of Lir, this book taught me that every story has two sides, and things aren't always as they seem. Now I am a lot more empathetic towards the stepmother of the Children of Lir. We got to hear the story from her perspective and how she was really feeling, and my view on her has definitely changed. I've thoroughly enjoyed reading this book and it was definitely worthwhile.
We're delighted to share some words from KPMG Children's Books Ireland Book of the Year Award winners, Deirdre Sullivan and Karen Vaughan.
I'd like to thank Children's Books Ireland. I'd like to thank my family for their unwavering support, Little Island for taking a chance on me, and Deirdre for her words, because without her, none of this would be possible. Thank you.
I'd like to thank you. You're great. I'd like to thank Children's Books Ireland for this and also for all they do to connect books with young readers, particularly at this strange time when books are so valuable. I'd like to thank Little Island for their creativity, hard work, and particularly Siobhan Parkinson, who edited Savage Her Reply. I would like to thank my agent Claire Wallace for her support of my work. I'd like to thank my family in Galway, who I haven't seen in ages, and my husband Dermot and daughter Bonnie, who I see every day. Saboteur Reply is a book that deals with mental health difficulties, and it deals with relationship abuse. And it feels oddly prescient at this time when so many people are experiencing difficulties. I'm delighted that Aoife's story has resonated with people. I'm delighted that the judges have chosen to honour this book and that her story has been heard. But I would hope that people continue to look for the story underneath the story and to hear the pain that people can't speak. Thank you.
Well done again to Deirdre Sullivan and Karen Vaughan. Congratulations to all of the winners. Thank you to the award sponsors, particularly title sponsor KPMG, and most of all, a huge well done to the young readers of Ireland. Stay tuned to Children's Books Ireland's website and social media. If you want to find out more about the winning and shortlisted books, visit childrensbooksireland.ie to watch videos with the artists and download activity packs for each book.